Have you ever sat across from a doctor and felt that sinking feeling in your stomach when they said the word cancer? That moment when time seems to stop and all you can hear is your own heartbeat pounding in your ears. Or perhaps you've watched a loved one receive that devastating news and you felt completely helpless, wishing there was something, anything you could do to protect them. I understand that fear. Elizabeth, one of my patients at 72, had been eating what she thought was a healthy diet rich in seafood for years. When she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer, she was shocked and confused. How could this happen when she'd been so careful about her health? What Elizabeth and her doctors didn't realize was that some of the fish she'd been consuming regularly were actually loaded with compounds that were silently damaging her cells, while other healing varieties were missing from her diet entirely. Today, I'm going to share the exact information that helped Elizabeth transform her recovery journey, and that has helped hundreds of my senior patients strengthen their immune systems during treatment. These simple dietary swaps could be the difference between constant setbacks and a body that's equipped to fight cancer effectively. So please stay with me until the end, because this information could literally save your life or the life of someone you love. Hey there, thanks for joining me today on this crucial topic. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from, so drop your location in the comments below. And if you have any questions about cancer prevention or nutrition for seniors, feel free to ask away. I'm here to help. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Cancer research is constantly evolving, and I want to make sure you're always getting the most up-to-date information that could make a real difference in your health journey. The 4 fish you should never eat. After 60 if you're concerned about cancer, and the 4 that can actually help strengthen your cells against this devastating disease. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to environmental toxins and cellular damage, making our dietary choices even more critical than they were in our younger years. The fish on our never eat list contain compounds that can accelerate cellular damage in seniors, while those on our eat regularly list contain powerful nutrients that help repair DNA damage, reduce inflammation, and boost the immune system's ability to identify and destroy cancerous cells. I've seen firsthand how making these simple swaps can dramatically improve outcomes for my senior patients, both in preventing cancer and in supporting recovery during treatment. So let's dive into the specific fish that could be silently harming your health right now, and the healing alternatives that should be on your plate instead. I need to take a quick pause here because I want to ask you something important. How has cancer touched your life or the lives of those you care about? What's been the most challenging aspect of navigating this disease for you or your loved ones? You know, so many people feel isolated during this journey, as if no one truly understands the depth of what they're experiencing. But I want you to know that in this space, your experience is valued and can help others who are walking a similar path. If you'd like to share, you can simply copy the phrase, "My biggest challenge has been you," and complete it with your experience. It doesn't need to be a long text, just a few words are enough. Every comment you leave not only helps me create content that's more directly targeted to your real needs, but it might also be exactly what someone else needed to read today to feel less alone. Sometimes, just knowing we're not the only ones facing certain challenges already brings immense relief. Your voice matters, your experience matters, and together, we form a stronger community of support and understanding. Let's start with the fish you should absolutely avoid after the age of 60, especially if you're concerned about cancer. The first fish on our never eat list is farmed Atlantic salmon. Now, I know this might come as a shocking revelation to many of you, because salmon is often touted as a health food, and wild-caught salmon certainly has numerous health benefits. However, farmed Atlantic salmon is an entirely different story, particularly for seniors whose detoxification pathways aren't as efficient as they once were. These fish are often raised in crowded pens where disease spreads easily, requiring farmers to use antibiotics and pesticides that remain in the fish's flesh when it reaches your plate. A study published in the Journal of Environmental Science and Health found that farmed salmon can contain up to 10 times more toxic compounds called PCBs than wild salmon. These PCBs have been linked to increased cancer risk, particularly in older adults whose cellular repair mechanisms aren't working at full capacity. Additionally, farmed salmon are fed artificial diets that significantly alter their omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acid ratio, creating a pro-inflammatory effect in your body. As you might know, chronic inflammation is a key driver of cancer development and progression. In fact, researchers at Harvard Medical School found that chronic inflammation can transform normal cells into tumor cells by causing DNA damage and promoting cellular proliferation. Margaret, one of my 68-year-old patients, had been eating farmed salmon twice a week, thinking she was protecting her heart. After switching to wild-caught alternatives, her inflammatory markers dropped by 32% in just 3 months. Have you been unknowingly consuming this potentially harmful fish, thinking it was benefiting your health? This is why reading labels and asking questions about the source of your seafood is so crucial, especially as you enter your 60s and beyond. The second fish that should never make it to your plate after 60 is swordfish. This predatory fish sits at the top of the marine food chain, which means it accumulates significantly higher levels of toxins, particularly mercury, than smaller fish. For seniors, this is particularly concerning because our bodies become less efficient at removing heavy metals as we age. The Environmental Protection Agency warns that mercury exposure can damage the nervous system and kidneys, but what's less discussed is its potential role in cancer development, especially in older adults. Research published in the journal Environmental Health Perspectives has linked mercury exposure to an increased risk of several types of cancer, including leukemia and multiple myeloma. The mechanism appears to be related to mercury's ability to generate free radicals that damage DNA and disrupt cellular processes. Additionally, mercury can deplete the body's stores of selenium, an essential mineral that plays a crucial role in cancer prevention by supporting the body's natural DNA repair mechanisms. In fact, studies from the University of North Carolina found that adequate selenium levels may reduce cancer mortality by up to 50% in seniors. Robert, a 76-year-old patient of mine, was a big swordfish enthusiast, having it at least once a week at his favorite restaurant. After experiencing concerning neurological symptoms, we tested his mercury levels, which were alarmingly high. After eliminating swordfish and implementing a gentle detoxification protocol, his symptoms improved, and his overall cancer risk profile showed improvement as well. The danger with mercury is that it can accumulate in your body for years before causing noticeable symptoms, silently damaging your cells and potentially contributing to cancer development. Is saving a few minutes on dinner preparation by grabbing that convenient swordfish steak at the market worth the potential long-term consequences to your health? The third fish on our never-eat list is tilapia, particularly imported tilapia from China and other parts of Asia. This might surprise many of you, since tilapia is often marketed as an inexpensive, mild-flavored fish that's easy to prepare. However, for seniors concerned about cancer, tilapia presents several significant concerns. First, most commercially available tilapia is farm-raised in crowded conditions that necessitate the use of antibiotics, pesticides, and growth hormones. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that tilapia contains very low levels of beneficial omega-3 fatty acids and very high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, creating an imbalanced ratio that promotes inflammation in the body. In fact, researchers from Wake Forest University School of Medicine reported that the inflammatory potential of tilapia is higher than that of a hamburger or bacon. For seniors whose immune systems are already experiencing age-related changes, this pro-inflammatory effect can create an internal environment that's conducive to cancer development and progression. Furthermore, many tilapia farms, particularly in China, use growth hormones and antibiotics that are banned in the United States due to their potential health risks, including links to hormone-sensitive cancers like breast, prostate, and ovarian cancer. Patricia, a 65-year-old patient of mine, was consuming tilapia several times a week because it was affordable and easy to cook. After eliminating it from her diet, her chronic inflammatory markers decreased significantly, and the persistent digestive issues she'd been experiencing for years finally resolved. The truth is that not all fish are created equal, and some budget-friendly options can come with a hidden health cost that becomes increasingly significant as we age. Have you noticed any health changes that might be connected to the types of fish you're regularly consuming? The fourth and final fish on our never-eat list is Pangasius, also commonly sold as basa, swai, or Vietnamese catfish. This is one of the most widely consumed fish in America due to its low cost and mild flavor, but it comes with serious health concerns for seniors. Pangasius is almost exclusively farmed in the Mekong River in Vietnam, one of the most polluted waterways in the world. These fish are often raised in water contaminated with industrial chemicals, pesticides, and heavy metals that accumulate in their flesh. A study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found concerning levels of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, in Pangasius from Vietnam. PAHs are known carcinogens that have been linked to increased risk of stomach, colorectal, and pancreatic cancers, which are particularly common in older adults. Additionally, Pangasius is often treated with potassium permanganate and fluoroquinolones, antibiotics that are restricted in U.S. aquaculture due to their potential to create antibiotic-resistant bacteria and disrupt gut microbiome health. Recent research from the University of California has shown that gut microbiome disruption can significantly impact immune function and increase cancer risk in older adults. Furthermore, Pangasius contains virtually no beneficial omega-3 fatty acids, but is high in omega-6 fatty acids, contributing to an inflammatory state in the body. James, a 70-year-old patient who came to me after his second cancer diagnosis, was regularly consuming Pangasius because it was affordable on his fixed income. When we tested his toxin levels, we found elevated concentrations of several industrial chemicals associated with cancer risk. After eliminating Pangasius and other contaminated foods from his diet, his body's natural detoxification pathways began to function more effectively, supporting his recovery process. Many seniors are turning to cheaper food options as they manage their retirement budgets, but when it comes to fish like Pangasius, the long-term health costs far outweigh the short-term savings. How often have you or your loved ones chosen fish based primarily on price without considering the potential hidden health impacts? Now let's transition to the positive side, the 4 fish that seniors should incorporate regularly for their powerful cancer-fighting properties. The first fish that deserves a special place on your plate is wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Unlike its farmed counterpart, wild Alaskan salmon contains an optimal ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids, which creates an anti-inflammatory effect in the body. These omega-3s, particularly EPA and DHA, have been extensively studied for their cancer-protective properties. Research published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found that people with higher blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids had a 43% lower risk of developing certain cancers compared to those with lower levels. For seniors, specifically, these benefits may be even more pronounced. A long-term study following adults over 65 found that those who regularly consumed wild-caught fatty fish had significantly lower rates of cancer-related deaths than those who rarely ate fish. The magic of wild salmon lies not just in its omega-3 content, but also in its high levels of astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that gives the fish its pink color. Laboratory studies have shown that astaxanthin can inhibit cancer cell growth, reduce inflammation, and protect DNA from damage, all critical factors in cancer prevention and recovery. Additionally, wild salmon is one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, which has been linked to lower cancer risk, particularly in seniors who are often deficient in this crucial vitamin. Elizabeth, the patient I mentioned earlier, began incorporating wild Alaskan salmon into her diet twice weekly during her cancer treatment. Her oncologist was surprised by her minimal side effects and robust blood markers throughout chemotherapy. Is it possible that simple dietary changes like this could make a significant difference in your health outcomes? The evidence certainly suggests so. The second cancer-fighting fish that seniors should regularly enjoy is sardines. These small oily fish pack an incredible nutritional punch for their size. Sardines are exceptionally high in omega-3 fatty acids, containing even more per serving than salmon in some cases. What makes sardines particularly valuable for seniors concerned about cancer is their status as one of the safest seafood options available. Because sardines are small, short-lived fish at the bottom of the food chain, they accumulate far fewer toxins than larger predatory fish. This makes them an ideal choice for seniors whose detoxification pathways aren't as efficient as they once were. Sardines are also one of the richest dietary sources of coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, a powerful antioxidant that our bodies produce less of as we age. Research from the University of Miami has shown that CoQ10 can help protect cells from oxidative damage and may enhance the effectiveness of conventional cancer treatments while reducing their side effects. Additionally, sardines are one of the few foods that contain vitamin B12 in a form that's easily absorbed by seniors who often have decreased stomach acid that can impair B12 absorption from other sources. Vitamin B12 is crucial for DNA synthesis and repair, processes that are fundamental to cancer prevention. Sardines also provide calcium when eaten with the bones, which is important for seniors concerned about bone health during and after cancer treatment. Charles, a 78-year-old patient undergoing treatment for colorectal cancer, began eating sardines 3 times weekly and reported significantly more energy and less treatment-related fatigue than during his previous rounds of therapy. The beauty of sardines is their convenience and affordability. They come canned and ready to eat, making them an accessible option for seniors on fixed incomes or with limited energy for food preparation. When was the last time you enjoyed this nutrient-dense, cancer-fighting superfood? The third fish that deserves a prominent place in any senior's cancer prevention diet is wild-caught mackerel, particularly Atlantic mackerel. This flavorful fish offers one of the highest concentrations of EPA and DHA omega-3 fatty acids of any seafood, even outperforming salmon in some measures. These specific omega-3s have been shown to inhibit the COX-2 enzyme, which plays a key role in cancer development and progression. Research published in the journal Cancer Prevention Research demonstrated that these marine omega-3s can actually change gene expression in a way that suppresses cancer development, particularly in hormone-sensitive cancers that become more common as we age. What makes mackerel especially valuable for seniors is its exceptionally high selenium content. Selenium is a trace mineral that plays a crucial role in cancer prevention through its incorporation into selenoproteins, which help repair DNA damage and support proper immune function. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that selenium supplementation reduced overall cancer mortality by nearly 50% in older adults. Mackerel provides this powerful mineral in a natural, bioavailable form that's easily utilized by the body. Additionally, mackerel contains substantial amounts of vitamin D, a nutrient that becomes increasingly difficult for our bodies to synthesize from sunlight as we age. Recent research from the Harvard School of Public Health has linked higher vitamin D levels to improved survival rates in several types of cancer. Martha, a 74-year-old breast cancer survivor I work with, incorporated mackerel into her diet weekly after her treatment concluded. 3 years later, her oncologist noted that her inflammatory markers and immune parameters were comparable to those of a much younger person. The combination of powerful nutrients in mackerel seems to create a synergistic effect that's particularly beneficial for seniors looking to prevent cancer recurrence or development. Have you considered how adding this nutrient-dense fish to your diet might support your long-term health goals? The fourth and final cancer-fighting fish I recommend for seniors is wild-caught anchovies. Like sardines, anchovies are small, oily, Fish that don't accumulate the high levels of toxins found in larger predatory species, making them an exceptionally safe choice for seniors. What makes anchovies stand out in terms of cancer prevention is their remarkable content of omega-3 fatty acids combined with a powerful antioxidant called DMAE, dimethylaminoethanol. DMAE has been shown to stabilize cell membranes and protect them from oxidative damage, a key factor in preventing the cellular mutations that can lead to cancer. Research from the European Journal of Cancer Prevention found that regular consumption of small oily fish like anchovies was associated with a significantly reduced risk of several common cancers in older adults. Anchovies are also rich in niacin, vitamin B3, which plays a crucial role in DNA repair mechanisms that become less efficient as we age. Recent studies from the National Cancer Institute have demonstrated that niacin can help prevent DNA damage and support the body's natural ability to identify and eliminate potentially cancerous cells before they can proliferate. Additionally, anchovies provide substantial amounts of calcium, iron, and phosphorus, nutrients that support overall health during cancer treatment and recovery. The unique nutritional profile of anchovies makes them particularly beneficial for seniors dealing with the metabolic changes that often accompany aging and cancer treatment. William, an 82-year-old patient who had undergone treatment for prostate cancer, began incorporating anchovies into his diet regularly. 6 months later, his bone density scans showed improvement rather than the decline that's often expected during and after cancer treatment. His oncologist attributed this unusual positive outcome partially to his improved nutrition. Anchovies can be easily incorporated into salads, pasta dishes, or used as a flavorful addition to sauces and dressings. The concentrated nutrition in even a small serving makes them an efficient choice for seniors who may have decreased appetite or energy for eating large meals. Could this tiny fish be the missing nutritional powerhouse in your cancer prevention strategy? Now, I want to address some practical concerns that many of my senior patients share when we discuss these dietary recommendations. First, what about the cost? Wild-caught fish are often more expensive than farmed varieties, which can be a legitimate concern for seniors on fixed incomes. However, when we consider the potential cost of medical treatments for conditions that may develop from consuming contaminated fish, the investment in higher quality seafood becomes much more reasonable. Additionally, smaller fish like sardines and anchovies are quite affordable even when wild-caught, often costing less per serving than many processed foods. Another common concern is taste and preparation. Some seniors tell me they don't enjoy the taste of fish or don't know how to prepare it. For those who don't enjoy fish, high-quality fish oil supplements can provide some of the omega-3 benefits, though they lack the complete nutritional profile of whole fish. As for preparation, the cancer-fighting fish I've recommended can be prepared simply, grilled, baked, or even consumed directly from quality canned sources, in the case of sardines and anchovies. I also hear concerns about mercury content in all fish. While this is a valid concern, it's important to understand that the small, short-lived fish I've recommended on the eat list have significantly lower mercury levels than the predatory fish on the avoid list. In fact, the FDA and EPA list sardines, anchovies, and wild Alaskan salmon among the lowest mercury seafood options available. Finally, some patients worry about the sustainability of their seafood choices. Fortunately, the fish on our eat list are generally considered sustainable options according to the Monterey Bay Aquarium's Seafood Watch program, particularly when wild-caught from carefully managed fisheries. By making these informed seafood choices, you're supporting not only your own health but the health of our oceans as well. Let's talk about how to incorporate these cancer-fighting fish into your weekly meal routine for maximum benefit. Based on the current research, I recommend aiming for 2 to 3 servings of the beneficial fish we've discussed each week. For wild Alaskan salmon, a typical serving is 3 to 4 ounces, about the size of a deck of cards. This can be simply prepared by baking it with a little olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes. For sardines and anchovies, a serving is typically one 3.75-ounce can, which can be enjoyed on whole grain toast, added to salads, or mixed into pasta dishes. For mackerel, a 3 to 4 ounce serving can be grilled, smoked, or baked similarly to salmon. To maximize the cancer-fighting benefits of these fish, I recommend pairing them with cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, or kale, which contain compounds that work synergistically with the nutrients in fish to further reduce cancer risk. Additionally, including turmeric in your fish preparations can enhance the anti-inflammatory properties of the omega-3 fatty acids. A simple marinade of olive oil, turmeric, black pepper, and lemon juice works wonderfully with most fish. For those who find the taste of fish too strong, starting with milder options like wild salmon and masking the flavor with herbs and citrus can make the transition easier. Over time, many of my patients find that their taste preferences actually shift as their bodies begin to crave the nutrients these healthy foods provide. It's also worth noting that these dietary recommendations are most effective when part of a comprehensive approach that includes moderate physical activity, stress management, and adequate sleep, all factors that significantly impact cancer risk in seniors. Harriet, a 71-year-old patient who implemented these dietary changes, along with a gentle walking routine, saw her cancer biomarkers improve dramatically over 6 months, much to the surprise of her oncology team. What small change could you make this week to begin incorporating more of these healing foods into your diet? Understanding the why behind these recommendations can be powerful motivation for making dietary changes, especially for seniors who have been eating certain foods for decades. The cancer protective benefits of the fish I've recommended stem from several key mechanisms. First, the omega-3 fatty acids found abundantly in these fish help resolve chronic inflammation, which is both a cause and consequence of cancer. They do this by being converted into specialized pro-resolving mediators, SPMs, in the body, compounds that actively turn off inflammatory processes rather than just suppressing them temporarily as many medications do. Second, the high-quality protein in these fish provides the amino acids necessary for optimal immune function, which is crucial since our immune system is our first line of defense against cancer, responsible for identifying and eliminating potentially cancerous cells before they can develop into tumors. Third, the unique combination of vitamins and minerals found in these fish supports DNA repair mechanisms, which become less efficient as we age. This is particularly important because DNA damage is a primary driver of cancer development, and enhancing our body's ability to repair this damage can significantly reduce cancer risk. Fourth, compounds like astaxanthin found in wild salmon and CoQ10 found in sardines act as powerful antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals that can damage cellular structures and initiate the cancer development process. Finally, many of these fish contain vitamin D, which regulates hundreds of genes involved in cancer prevention, including those that control cell growth, differentiation, and apoptosis, programmed cell death, which helps eliminate damaged cells before they can become cancerous. By understanding these mechanisms, you can see that these dietary recommendations aren't just arbitrary rules, but are grounded in our understanding of how cancer develops and how certain nutrients can interrupt that process. This knowledge has transformed the health trajectories of hundreds of my senior patients, and it can do the same for you or your loved ones. I also want to address an important question that many of my patients ask. Is it too late to make these changes if I've already been diagnosed with cancer? The answer is an emphatic no. In fact, research suggests that dietary changes can be particularly impactful during and after cancer treatment. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology found that cancer survivors who adopted healthier diets, including regular consumption of omega-3 rich fish, had a 31% lower risk of cancer recurrence and a 45% lower risk of death from any cause compared to those who maintained their previous dietary patterns. The nutrients in the cancer-fighting fish we've discussed not only help prevent cancer, but can also support the body during treatment by reducing inflammation, supporting immune function, and protecting healthy cells from some of the damage caused by treatments like chemotherapy and radiation. Thomas, an 80-year-old patient who had recently completed treatment for lymphoma, was concerned that dietary changes wouldn't make a difference at his age and stage. Nevertheless, he decided to incorporate wild salmon and sardines into his diet 3 times weekly. 6 months later, his oncologist was surprised by his remarkable recovery, noting that his blood markers had improved beyond expectations. The body has an incredible capacity for healing at any age when given the proper nutritional support. Many of my senior patients report not only improvements in their cancer-specific health markers after making these dietary changes, but also unexpected benefits like better energy, improved cognitive function, reduced joint pain, and better sleep quality. These side benefits stand in stark contrast to the side effects that come with many conventional approaches. Regardless of your current health status, it's never too late to support your body's natural healing abilities through thoughtful nutrition. Finally, let's discuss implementation strategies that have worked for my senior patients who successfully made these dietary shifts. First, I recommend starting small. Try replacing just 1 meal per week that would have included fish from the avoid list with a meal featuring one from the eat list. This gradual approach tends to be more sustainable than attempting a complete overhaul overnight. Second, experiment with different preparations until you find ones that appeal to your taste preferences. For example, if you don't enjoy the taste of sardines straight from the can, try mashing them with avocado, lemon juice, and herbs as a spread for whole grain crackers, or mix them into a pasta sauce where their flavor is less pronounced, but their nutritional benefits are still present. Third, consider joining forces with a friend or family member who's also interested in improving their health. Having an accountability partner can make the journey more enjoyable and successful. Fourth, keep track of how you feel after incorporating more of these healthy fish into your diet. Many of my patients are surprised by improvements in energy, sleep, and even mood within just a few weeks, which provides powerful motivation to continue. Fifth, be patient with yourself and avoid the all-or-nothing mindset that can lead to giving up entirely after a single lapse. Every healthy meal is a step in the right direction, regardless of what you ate yesterday or plan to eat tomorrow. Dorothy, a 75-year-old patient who initially resisted these dietary changes, decided to try just 1 serving of wild salmon weekly as an experiment. The improvements in her energy levels were so noticeable that she gradually expanded her repertoire to include all 4 of the recommended fish. A year later, her oncologist was amazed by the improvements in her health markers and reduced her follow-up schedule based on her excellent progress. What one small step could you take this week to begin this journey toward better health? To summarize what we've covered today, there are 4 fish that seniors concerned about cancer should absolutely avoid. Farmed Atlantic salmon, swordfish, tilapia, and pangasius, also sold as basa, swai, or Vietnamese catfish. These fish can contain toxins, contaminants, and unhealthy fat profiles that may increase cancer risk, particularly in older adults whose bodies are less efficient at detoxification and repair. On the other hand, there are 4 exceptionally beneficial fish that can help prevent cancer and support recovery: wild-caught Alaskan salmon, sardines, wild-caught mackerel, and anchovies. These fish provide optimal ratios of omega-3 fatty acids, powerful antioxidants, and cancer-fighting vitamins and minerals in forms that are easily utilized by aging bodies. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. This information has the potential to transform your health or the health of a loved one facing cancer, so I'm grateful you took the time to learn about these crucial dietary distinctions. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button and share this video with someone who might benefit from it. The more people who understand these important nutritional concepts, the more lives we can potentially impact. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or experiences. Your insight might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos on cancer prevention and recovery for seniors. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. By making informed choices about something as simple as which fish you eat, you can significantly impact your body's ability to prevent and fight cancer. You have more control over your health than you might realize, and it's never too late to make changes that support your body's natural healing abilities. Stay strong, stay informed, and know that you're not alone on this journey toward better health.